Good morning, students. Welcome to sixth and last part of reconstruction of partnership. Now today we will be solving question number 14, that is last question. Before we start, let us go through the question first. So now in this case there were three partners, Dattu, Daya and Tarak, partnership firm sharing profits and losses in ratio of 4:3:2. Their firm's balance sheet as on 31st March 17 was provided. Then in balance sheet there was capital balances 1,50,000, 50,000. No clarification is given about fixed or fluctuating, so we have to assume it as fluctuating. As such, current account balances are not given, so it implies fluctuating capital method. Then reserves are provided, which includes general reserve, but workmen's accident compensation fund, we can distribute this reserve only to the extent of no claim. If there is claim part is to be excluded and remaining amount is to be distributed. Then non-current liability includes 9% bank loan. Current liability includes creditors, bills payable and bank overdraft. Then on asset side, non-current assets means long-term assets includes land and building, machinery, furniture, investments, and current assets includes debtors less previous bad debts of 4,000. So net balance was 76,000, and further from this bad debts reserve was to be created to the extent of 6,000. So the net balance comes to 70,000. Bills receivables were 5,000. Stock 15,000, cash balance 55, and P&L. When P&L account is shown on asset side, it implies negative balance of profit, balance of loss. So accordingly, loss has to be charged to partners. Now further in this question, as on the above balance sheet date, partners decided to change profit sharing ratio to 1:1:1. Means old ratio was 4:3:2 and now they are converting it into equal ratio. And the following revaluation account is prepared for revaluation of assets and liabilities. Means in this case you are not provided adjustment. Directly revaluation account as part of solution is prepared, in which we can identify which all assets and liabilities are increasing or reducing. For example, in revaluation, decrease in asset and increase in liability implies loss for the firm, so they are found on debit side. Same way, increase in asset and decrease in liability are considered as income for the firm, so they are to be profit for the firm, so they are to be credited. In this case, land and building is increasing, creditors are reducing, income receivable means outstanding income is increasing, and partners capital, that is balance of net divisible loss, is given. Same way on debit side, machine, furniture, investments, these three are reducing. Provision is to be increased to 10,000 by 10,000 rather. Stock increases by 3,000, outstanding expenses are increasing by 2,000, and bank overdraft interest was outstanding to the extent of 1,500. Then adjustment is provided. A claim of 5,000 was against workmen's accident compensation fund, means we already had reserve workmen's accident compensation fund of 23, out of which now we are required to pay 5,000 as claim. From the following information, we are required to pass journal entry, prepare capital account and balance sheet after revaluation. So to begin with, first step we will go through revaluation account, because indirectly adjustments are given here, so we will be solving same. To begin with, first adjustment, claim of 5,000 was against workmen's accident compensation fund, and according to balance sheet we had reserve of rupees 23,000. So the total workmen's compensation fund which was there in business worth rupees 23,000, that will get eliminated. Out of this 23,000, a new liability, workmen's claim, would be created to the extent of 5,000. And now out of 23, 5,000 is claim, remaining 18,000 will be distributed among partners. So to Dattu's capital, to Daya's capital, and to Tarak's capital. And the remaining amount, which was rupees 18,000, that is 23,000 minus 5,000, remaining 18,000 will be distributed in old ratio, which was 4:3:2. So that comes to 8,000, 6,000 and 4,000. This was first adjustment. Posting the same into balance sheet, previously workmen's compensation fund was there, now it becomes workmen's claim. Out of 23,000, now the value of claim for the firm is 5,000, and the remaining 18,000 was to be distributed among partners. As partners will receive, their capitals would increase, In order to increase their capital, capital accounts are to be credited, and in their old ratio, which came to 8,000, 6,000 and 4,000. So this would be the way of posting entry into ledger. Now second entry, after completing adjustment from revaluation, we can either pass individual entries like revaluation to machine, or we can pass a common entry, revaluation to all the concerned assets and liabilities account. So I am following the same way: revaluation account debit to machine, to furniture, to investment, to bad debts reserve, to stock, to outstanding expense, and to bank overdraft interest account. So the entry can be written this way: I have passed direct entry, that is revaluation account debit, to all the concerned assets and liabilities account according to revaluation, which we can identify from revaluation itself, and the total of these will be equal to 59,500. So this is a kind of loss in revaluation. Same way, when we speak about credit side, on credit side entries were buy land and building, buy creditors, and buy income receivable. This was the value of loss. We will be passing entry for same separately. So entry will be land and building account debit, creditor account debit, outstanding income account debit to revaluation account. So the entry could be written this way: land and building account debit, creditors account debit, outstanding income account debit to revaluation account, and total of debit, that is 19,000, will be on credit side of revaluation. On this basis, now we can ascertain the value of profit or loss on revaluation. So how to ascertain profit or loss? So total of debit of revaluation is 59,500, whereas total of credit is 19,000. So difference comes to 59 minus 19, 40,500. As debit is exceeding credit, it implies loss, and loss has to be charged to partners, and it will lead to decrease in partners capital, and in order to decrease partners capital are to be debited. So entry will be Dattu's capital account debit, Daya's capital account debit, Tarak's capital account debit to revaluation account. And now value of loss, which we have ascertained, that is 59,500 minus 19,000, so that comes to 40,500, and this loss again has to be distributed in their old ratio, which was 4:3:2, that comes to 18,000, 13,500 and 9,000. Now again posting of these three entries into balance sheet and partners capital one by one. Let us go for machinery first. Value of machine, it is credited, so it is increasing by 35,000. As you can see from revaluation account, we can easily identify. Sorry, I have said machinery is increasing. It was wrong. Machinery was reducing by 35,000 one by one. So previous value of machine as per balance sheet was 80,000. As per revaluation, it is on debit side, and debit on revaluation implies loss from point of view of assets. So now new value of machine will become 45,000. Same way furniture, it is found on debit side as 5,000, whereas previous value of furniture as per balance sheet was 20,000. So now from 20,000 it is reducing by 5,000. So new value of furniture would be 15,000. Then investments, previous value of investments were 15,000, and now we can see on debit side of revaluation it was rupees 3,000. That means decrease in value of asset. So now value of investments will become 12,000. Then bad debts reserve, that is based on debtors, so it has to be presented in proper manner. As per balance sheet, debtors were 80,000 in inner column, less bad debts were 4,000, so net balance was 76,000. Now coming towards point related to bad debts reserve, as we can see in revaluation account, bad debts reserve is 10,000 on debit side. That means BDR is increasing by 10,000, whereas as per balance sheet, old value of bad debts reserve was 6,000. So the total value of bad debts reserve now in books of accounts will be 16,000. So the final balance in outer column related to debtors would be 60,000. Then next point, stock is again debited, so it is decreasing. The previous value of stock as per balance sheet was 15,000, and according to revaluation account, stock is debited by rupees 3,000. So again decrease in value of stock, that will lead to balance of rupees 12,000 for stock. Outstanding expenses, now this is a liability, it is increasing, and previous liability was not provided, so it will be recorded as unrecorded liability or new liability. outstanding expense rupees 2000. Then bank overdraft interest, it was related to bank overdraft. So let us first note down bank overdraft. As per balance sheet, bank overdraft was rupees 8000. According to adjustment, interest of 1500 is outstanding. The outstanding interest on bank overdraft will be added to bank overdraft. So the total value of bank overdraft now in our books of accounts will become 9500. These were all entries related to debit side. Now moving towards credit side of revaluation, buy land and building. It was related to land and building. So let us first note down value of land and building. As per balance sheet, old balance sheet, land and building were rupees 90,000. And according to revaluation, it is credited. That implies income or increase. So now new value of land and building will become 1 lakh. Same way, creditors, it is found on credit side. Creditors on credit side implies decrease in liability. So previous value of creditors were rupees 50,000. According to revaluation, creditors are credited by rupees 6,000. So now new value of creditors would be only 44,000. And last one, income receivable. This was previously not provided. It's an unrecorded asset. So if we record an unrecorded asset, it will lead to increase in asset. So it will be on asset side, outstanding incomes rupees 3000. So these were the entries posted from revaluation account. Then on closing revaluation account, we found there was a loss, and that loss has to be borne by partners. As partners will bear the loss, their capitals will reduce. In order to reduce their capital accounts are to be debited. So entry will be partners capital account debit to revaluation account. And ratio, old ratio has to be considered. 40,500 worth loss in ratio of 4:3:2. So that comes to 18,000, 13,500 and 9,000. So these were the entries posted on the basis of revaluation account. Now coming towards entries from balance sheet. So let us go through the question again once. As we can see from question, bank overdraft, creditors, workmen's compensation fund, these three are dealt with. So remaining entries are to be posted at their respective places like capital, general reserve, 9% bank loan and bills payable. Same way on asset side we saw land and building, machinery, furniture and investments in adjustment. Data was also done in adjustment, but bills receivable were remaining, so it would be recorded as it is. Stock we have dealt with in adjustment. Cash balance will be recorded as it is, and P&L account, debit balance implies balance of loss which was not dealt with. So these were three entries to be posted from asset, and these were the three entries to be posted from liabilities. So now let us record it to their respective places. Capital would be recorded on credit side of capital account as opening balance. Opening balance of capital will be recorded on credit side of capital account as by balance brought down. Opening balance of Dattu was rupees 1 lakh. Opening balance of Daya was rupees 50,000, and opening balance of Tarak was also 50,000. Then from balance sheet on liability side, second point is general reserve. Now general reserve is kind of accumulated profit which is to be distributed among partners. As partners are supposed to receive, their capitals are to be increased. In order to increase capital account are to be credited. So by general reserve account, and again this amount has to be distributed in their old ratio. If they ask you to pass journal entry wise, entry will be general reserve to respective partners capital account. So it has to be recorded in journal entries. General reserve account debit to Dattu's capital, to Daya's capital and to Tarak's capital, and the said amount has to be distributed in their profit sharing ratio, old profit sharing ratio rather, which was 4:3:2. As per balance sheet, general reserve was 36,000. So distribution in ratio of 4:3:2, that comes to 16,000, 12,000 and 8,000. This is the amount of amount of reserve being distributed among partners. So same posted on credit side of partners capital by general reserve. In Dattu's column it would be 16,000, in Daya's column it will be 12,000, and in Tarak's column it would be rupees 8,000. Then same way, next entry which was not recorded as per adjustment was 9% bank loan. So 9% bank loan will appear as it is in balance sheet as our liability. Now 9% implies rate of interest. When not given, we are not supposed to deal with same. There is no clarification that interest was outstanding. So we will assume positively that interest was fully paid. And last entry on liability side was bills payable, which will be recorded as it is rupees 20,000. Then coming towards asset side. On asset side, bills receivables were unrecorded, so we will record it as it is, which were rupees 5,000. Then cash balance, again it would be recorded as it is on asset side, rupees 55,000. And last entry, P&L account balance is given. So when profit and loss balance is given on asset side, it implies balance of loss, and losses are to be borne by partners. So partners' capital has to be reduced, and in order to reduce capital, capital accounts are to be debited in their old ratio. So journal entry wise, loss will lead to reduction in capital. So capital account of these partners have to be debited. So entry will be Dattu's capital account debit, Daya's capital account debit, Tarak's capital account debit, to revaluation account, to P&L account. And as per P&L account balance sheet, P&L balance was 27,000, which will be again distributed among partners in their old ratio. That comes to 12,000, 9,000 and 6,000. And narration same way, being loss distributed among partners, and posting of same into capital account. In Dattu's column it would be 12,000, in Daya's column it would be 9,000, and in Tarak's column it will be 6,000. So from journal entries point of view, these were the entries to be recorded. Now for capital account, we need to close capital. As we can see, for all the three partners, total of credit side is exceeding debit side. So first note down the total of credit side. For partner Dattu, total comes to 1,24,000. Whereas total of debit is only 30,000. So 1,24,000 minus 30, difference amount comes to 94,000, and that would be the balance to be carried down to balance sheet. That's 94,000. Then for partner Daya, total of credit is 68,000. Same value on debit side, 68,000 minus total of debit is 22,500. So 68 minus 22,500 comes to 45,500, which will be again recorded on liability side of balance sheet. Same way for Tarak, total of credit is 62,000. Same value on debit side, 62,000 minus total of debit is 15. So difference comes to 47,000, and again that would be recorded over here. Finally, we need to add these three, transfer it to outer column and sum up the balance sheet. So the total in outer column comes to 1,86,500, and then we need to club up the balance sheet, and total of liabilities as well as assets on both the sides should be equal. So the total of liabilities comes to 3,07,000, and total of assets also comes to rupees 3,07,000. So this is the way of presentation in financial statement. Thank you. Have a good day.